The question of life expectancy after 70 is a concern for many, as each year feels particularly precious. The body's physical condition begins to send signals hinting at the potential length of one's life. Some remain vigorous in both mind and body at 70, while others face ailments and declining strength. The difference lies in certain signs that serve as indicators of future longevity. We will discuss 7 signs that can predict how many more years one might have after 70. These are not mere conjectures, but patterns observed by scientists and doctors who have studied long-lived individuals. The following information will help you understand what to pay attention to in your body and lifestyle. Most importantly, advice will be given on how to increase your chances of a long and healthy life. It is important not to miss crucial details that can significantly impact the future. Recognizing these signs will allow you to assess your current situation and understand what changes need to be made to extend your years of life. The first indicator of longevity lies in the ability to maintain balance on one leg. Many underestimate the importance of balance until they begin to lose it. However, being able to stand confidently on one leg for 10 seconds is a powerful predictor of life expectancy. Scientists have found that people who have difficulty maintaining balance are more prone to falls, injuries, and even cognitive disorders. At the same time, those who maintain good coordination in their movements at the age of 70 and older tend to live longer and have robust health. Consider the example of 2 women, Carol and Nancy, both in their early 70s. Carol has always led an active lifestyle. She takes daily walks, practices yoga, and can easily lift one leg off the ground for a few seconds without losing her balance. Nancy, on the other hand, has not paid attention to her balance for many years. Now, when trying to stand on one leg, she immediately begins to fall to the side and has to grab something to hold on to. Nancy does not realize that this loss of balance is not just an annoying inconvenience, but a worrying sign indicating a possible deterioration in coordination, muscle strength, and even cognitive functions. Good balance is ensured by strong legs, a healthy nervous system, and an active brain. If a person stumbles more often, feels insecure during sudden turns, or has to hold on to walls or furniture for support, it is a reason to take action. Fortunately, balance can be improved. Simple exercises, such as standing on one leg for a few seconds each day, walking heel to toe, or practicing Tai Chi, can help restore stability. You can take a small test right now. Stand up and lift one leg off the ground. Can you stay in this position for 10 seconds without much effort? If not, don't panic, but don't ignore this fact either. The more attention a person pays to their balance today, the stronger and more stable they will be in the future. Sign number 2, grip strength as a predictor of the future. Regardless of personal beliefs, the strength of a handshake can tell you more about a person's prospects than it seems at first glance. Scientific studies indicate that grip strength is one of the most accurate indicators of overall vitality in older adults. A strong, confident handshake indicates well-developed muscles, healthy blood circulation, and a properly functioning nervous system. Conversely, a weak or weakening grip can be an early signal of muscle loss, general weakness, and even an increased risk of developing various diseases. As an example, consider the story of Robert, a 78-year-old man who has always been proud of his strong hand. He led an active lifestyle, exercised regularly, and never had difficulty opening jars or carrying heavy objects. On the other hand, Walter, his peer, began to notice that simple actions, such as unscrewing a bottle cap or holding a heavy bag, became more difficult for him. He attributed this to age-related changes, but the weakening of his grip strength indicated muscle loss, which could increase his susceptibility to falls, injuries, and even a shortened lifespan. A person's hands are a reflection of the overall state of their muscles. If grip strength weakens, then most likely the whole body is weakening as well. The more strength that is lost, the more difficult it is to maintain independence, activity, and vitality. However, there is also good news. Lost strength can be restored. Simple exercises, such as squeezing a tennis ball, using hand grips, or lifting small weights, can help maintain grip strength and strengthen muscles. Therefore, it is worth taking some time to check your grip strength. If your handshake feels weaker than it used to, or if performing everyday tasks is becoming difficult, don't ignore these signs. How confidently a person holds things today can say a lot about how confidently they will be able to hold on to life in the future. The third sign of longevity after 70 is walking speed. This simple indicator can tell you a lot. Contrary to popular belief, longevity after 70 is determined not so much by genetics, medical history, or diet, but by the speed of movement. Studies irrefutably prove that people who maintain a brisk and confident walking pace in old age tend to live longer than those whose speed of movement has decreased significantly. Walking speed is a direct reflection of overall health, muscle strength, cardiovascular function, and even cognitive abilities. Consider the example of two 75-year-old men, Joe and Frank. Joe takes daily walks, maintaining a steady pace and easily crossing pedestrian crossings and stairs. His movements are smooth, balanced, and confident. Frank, on the other hand, has slowed down noticeably in recent years. It is difficult for him to keep up with the pace of those around him. He often stops to rest and sometimes feels insecure when walking. While Joe's brisk pace indicates that his body is functioning well, Frank's reduced speed may be a warning sign indicating deteriorating health. A slow and unsteady gait is not just an inevitable sign of aging. It can be a symptom of hidden problems such as muscle weakness, impaired circulation, or even incipient neurological disorders. The legs are the foundation of the body, and their weakening leads to a loss of overall stability. However, there is good news. Walking speed is an indicator that can be improved. The more a person walks, the stronger they become. If you notice a decrease in pace, do not ignore this signal. Efforts should be made to strengthen the body, whether it is increasing the duration of walks, using light weights, or performing simple leg exercises. Ultimately, the speed of movement through life can say a lot about its duration, so you should carefully monitor your pace. This may be the easiest way to assess your longevity prospects. The fourth sign of longevity lies in sleep habits. The quality of nightly rest is an important indicator of potential life expectancy. Sleep is not just a period of inactivity, but a time of intensive recovery of the body, strengthening of defenses, and cleansing of the brain from accumulated toxins. Studies convincingly prove that people over 70 who have stable and complete sleep tend to live longer and maintain good health. Conversely, those who suffer from sleep disorders are at increased risk of memory impairment, cardiovascular disease, and weakened immunity. Consider the example of two men, Sam and Graham, who are around 75 years old. Sam adheres to a clear sleep schedule, sleeps about 7 hours every night, and wakes up rested. Graham, on the other hand, suffers from restless nights, constantly tossing and turning, waking up several times, and sometimes unable to fall asleep. Over time, Sam's body continues to function properly, his mind remains clear, and his energy levels remain stable. Graham, on the other hand, begins to experience mental slowness, fatigue during the day, and even spikes in blood pressure, which is a direct result of poor sleep quality. If a person often wakes up at night, has difficulty falling asleep, or feels broken even after a long stay in bed, do not ignore these signals. The body is trying to report a problem. Poor sleep can be caused by many factors: stress, poor nutrition, lack of physical activity, or even undiagnosed conditions such as sleep apnea. Fortunately, sleep quality can be improved. Simple lifestyle changes, such as limiting screen time before bed, following a daily routine, getting natural sunlight in the morning, or avoiding heavy meals at night, can bring significant results. Sleep is not just a pleasant pastime, but a vital process for maintaining optimal body and mind function. Therefore, it is worth paying attention to how the night goes. If a person wakes up tired, has difficulty falling asleep, or notices changes in sleep quality in recent years, action must be taken. After all, how well he rests today can determine how strong and healthy he will remain in the future. The fifth factor of longevity: food preferences and appetite. The nature of nutrition in old age, after 70 years, serves as an important indicator of potential life expectancy. A healthy appetite combined with a balanced diet helps maintain physical strength, boost immunity, and sustain high energy levels. Conversely, a sudden decrease in appetite or unhealthy eating habits can indicate underlying health issues and accelerate the aging process. Consider the example of two women, Margaret and Susan, both 74 years old. Margaret enjoys her meals, preferring fresh, natural foods and maintaining a stable weight. She enthusiastically cooks for herself and feels energized throughout the day. Susan, on the other hand, has noticed a decrease in her appetite. She skips meals, prefers processed foods, and is gradually losing weight without realizing it. Susan doesn't realize that her decreased appetite is a serious signal, indicating a possible disruption in the body's nutrient. Absorption. This, in turn, can lead to muscle weakness, slowed metabolism, and decreased immunity. In older adults, decreased appetite is often associated with various conditions, including digestive issues, hormonal changes, and even early signs of cognitive impairment. Insufficient food intake leads to the breakdown of muscle tissue, causing weakness, vulnerability, and an increased risk of falls and illnesses. If you notice changes in your eating habits, whether it's feeling full quickly, losing interest in food, or experiencing unexplained weight loss, it's important to take action. Proper nutrition after 70 is not just about satisfying hunger, it's about providing the body with the necessary nutrients for its proper functioning. It's important to focus on eating natural, nutrient-rich foods, drinking enough fluids, and not ignoring a decrease in appetite. This could be a sign from your body that it needs attention. Ask yourself, do you still enjoy food? Are you getting enough? Protein, fiber, and healthy fats to maintain your health. Or have you noticed a decrease in appetite and energy levels? Your diet today has a direct impact on your strength and independence in the future. The sixth factor of longevity is the ability to withstand stressful situations. How a person reacts to stress after 70 can be an important indicator of their lifespan. Constant nervous tension has a negative impact not only on emotional well-being, but also on the immune system, increasing the risk of cardiovascular disease and even accelerating the aging process. At the same time, people who possess effective stress management skills tend to maintain their health, activity, and mental clarity for many years. As an example, consider the stories of John and Richard, both 76 years old. John, like many, faces various life challenges, such as unexpected financial expenses, health problems, and family issues. However, he has learned to face them with composure and equanimity. He practices deep breathing techniques, maintains an active social life, and doesn't allow negative thoughts to dominate his mind for long. Richard, on the other hand, tends to dwell on stressful situations. He constantly worries about things that are beyond his control, reacts sharply to minor setbacks, and often gets caught up in negative reflections. Over time, this constant tension negatively affects his physical condition. Blood pressure rises, sleep worsens, and energy levels decrease. Prolonged stress triggers inflammatory processes in the body, which are known to be associated with the onset of many age-related diseases, including Alzheimer's disease and cardiovascular pathologies. If a person often experiences feelings of tension, irritability, or emotional exhaustion, these signs should not be ignored. It's important to learn to cope with stress effectively, whether through mindfulness practices, physical exercise, deep breathing techniques, or even laughter, which can significantly increase lifespan. Ask yourself, when problems arise, do you adapt to them and move forward, or do you cling to worries and allow stress to take over? The ability to remain calm, Find constructive solutions and focus on what is within your control has a beneficial effect not only on mental state, but is also a key factor determining the length and quality of life. The seventh factor of longevity: social connections. The strength of interpersonal relationships is one of the most obvious predictors of lifespan after 70. Numerous studies convincingly demonstrate that people who maintain strong social connections through friendships, family, or participation in community activities tend to live longer and maintain good health. Conversely, loneliness is linked to a higher risk of cardiovascular disease, depression, cognitive decline, and even premature death. Consider Eleanor and Barbara, both 78 years old. Eleanor leads a vibrant social life, staying connected with old friends, attending a local book club, and enjoying time with her family. She looks forward to gatherings and conversations, laughs often, and feels a strong connection to those around her. Barbara, on the other hand, spends much of her time alone. Over the years, she has lost touch with many friends, and despite having family, she rarely reaches out. She feels increasingly isolated, her mood worsens, and her overall health begins to decline. Human connection is more than just emotional support, it directly impacts physical health. Interacting with others keeps the brain active, reduces stress, and releases chemicals that promote well-being. If you find yourself withdrawing from social activities, avoiding phone calls, or spending more time alone than usual, it's a sign to make lifestyle changes. Maintaining social connections doesn't require constant company. Small efforts like calling an old friend, joining a group, or engaging in meaningful conversations can make a big difference. The relationships you cultivate today not only bring joy, but also contribute to your health and longevity. Now that you're familiar with these 7 key indicators, take a moment to assess your current life. Are you moving forward confidently and energetically, or do you notice subtle changes that could be warning signs? The good news is that most of these aspects, such as walking speed, grip strength, balance, sleep quality, dietary preferences, stress levels, and social connections, can be improved and adjusted. Your fate isn't fixed, and the decisions you make today can significantly impact your lifespan. If you recognize areas needing improvement, don't wait for a doctor to tell you to change. Start now. Increase your walks, strengthen your core, prioritize sleep, maintain an active social life, and find effective ways to manage stress. The main goal is not just to live longer, but to improve your quality of life. Ultimately, longevity is determined not only by the number of years you live, but by how rich and fulfilling those years are. The task of paraphrasing requires a delicate approach, retaining the original meaning while giving it a new form. The most important condition is preserving the volume and structure of the source material. This means the paraphrased text should be approximately the same size as the original, maintaining its logical structure, including paragraph breaks and the sequence of thoughts. If details, examples, or extended explanations are needed to maintain the volume, they should be added organically and appropriately. Enriching the language is a key element of successful paraphrasing. Actively use synonyms to avoid repetition and make the text more expressive. A variety of grammatical structures and stylistic devices also play an important role in creating a lively and engaging narrative. However, avoid artificiality and strain despite the desire for linguistic diversity. The immutability of facts and terms is the cornerstone of paraphrasing. Proper names, specialized terms, numerical values, and any other factual information must remain unchanged. Distortion of facts is unacceptable, as it can lead to misrepresentation and inaccurate information. The tone and style of the paraphrased text should match the original. If the source text is written in a serious tone, the paraphrased text should also be serious. If the original has a casual or technical style, the paraphrased text should reflect that. Maintaining tonality is necessary to preserve the unity of text perception. The main idea of the paraphrased text should be clear and concise. The reader should easily understand what is being discussed and what the author's purpose is. If paraphrasing leads to a dilution of meaning or makes understanding difficult, then the task has not been completed.